welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and this video is brought to you by 3-for-1 Trading. Today I'm playing Sneak and Show. This is a deck that is just about as old as Legacy. Honestly, Sneak Attack, Show and Tell predate the Legacy format's existence, and as long as there's been monsters worth putting into play, we've had a Sneak and Show deck. It's been out of favor for a while. Reanimator is just kind of a faster and better combo with a stronger backup plan if it gets stuffed. It's also a pretty bad time to have a monster thought seized out of your hand and reanimated by an opponent. That's a tough beat. However, recently, just in the last couple of weeks, Sneak and Show has come back. Friend of the show, Jeremy, top-aided the Vegas for Original Art event with Sneak and Show. And then there was a Legacy Challenge recently where there were 3 in the top 8, including winning the event. And I'm going to use this opportunity to play a deck I haven't played in a long time. And it also features some new cards. We've got Yggdrasil Rebirth Engine, 3-mana Legendary Artifact. When it enters, exile all creature cards from your graveyard. Tap, exile the top 3 cards of your library. 4, tap, put a creature exiled with Yggdrasil onto the battlefield under your control. Gains haste till end of turn, activate as a sorcery. This is just like another backdoor Sneak Attack, but critical mass of things is generally my problem with Sneak and Show. I am the type of cursed by fate gamer that every time I play this deck, I have an opponent with their shields completely down and I just have like 2 Show and Tells and a Sneak Attack in my hand and never draw a monster, or vice versa. And now there's so many monsters and so many enablers, and the one heckin' ring just keeps showing up in all decks. Every deck with Ancient Doom in it has figured out that they could play the One Ring. And guess what? That's very smart. I also get to play Valgavoth Terror Eater, new Reanimator Sneak Attack cheat-in banger from Duskmourn. This is the demon at the center of the Duskmourn Haunted House. 9-mana 9/9 flying lifelink ward sack 3 permanents, which is basically hexproof. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana rather than pay its mana cost. This is basically an unkillable flying lifelink Dothy Voidwalker that if your opponent starts casting spells to try to deal with it, you get to Mind's Desire those spells back at them. Very fun and exciting card. Unlike Reanimator, Sneak and Show doesn't get to pick which of its many monsters it has access to. You just have to kind of play with the one that's in your hand, unlike Entomb, which is a full tutor for whichever one solves the situation. And here we've just got 10 monsters, 10 ways to enable them, 2 One Rings to tie it all together, and a bunch of fast mana and permission to shove it through. Let's make it happen. This is Sneak and Show. 3-for-1 Trading is having a Black Friday sale that starts Wednesday, November 27th. Their online store has a fantastic selection of high-end Magic cards, especially for vintage, legacy, and old-school players. Sign up on their site to be the first to know when the Black Friday promotion starts and when new sale items go online. If you're attending Eternal Weekend Pittsburgh, you can meet me at the 3-for-1 booth. That's Thursday, November 21st from 5 to 6 p.m. Remember to sign up now so you don't miss the Black Friday deals. Use the QR code or go to shop.3for1trading.com. I'm on the draw in round 1. I am going to keep my hand. I have 2 monsters and 2 ways to send it. I'd love an Ancient Tomb. That would go a long way. Yggdrasil's a little wonky though because it doesn't actually enable Show and Tell. Like I have to find monsters from elsewhere. My opponent just Once Upon a Time for Elvish Spirit Guide. I wonder if I'm about to get Oops All Spelled. Not with a Bajuka Bog, so this is probably Cradle Control that just missed on the land they wanted to hit off once. Would be my guess. Just going to play Misty Rainforest and pass. If this is Cradle Control, this is a deck... Oh, wow. Nope. It is a different... It's like the Planar Nexus deck. Okay, yeah. They needed that crop rotation, but they do have it. Yeah, they got the Planar Nexus. Now they have access to 5 mana, and anything could happen. It's pretty cool that I have Valgavoth, though, because this thing, very hard to Caracas it. Very hard to really do anything to it. One ring resolves, obviously. I could still just get away with this, though, if I draw Ancient Tomb right now. And by Ancient Tomb, I mean anything that goes +1 mana. That means Lotus Petal, there's 3 of those. There's 1 Simian Spirit Guide. There's 2 City of Traders. Got a bunch of draws here. I'm going to get Thundering Falls. I don't want a Flusterstorm. Come on, +1 mana. Oh no. +1 monster. How about that? Same thing, right? I'll pass the turn. The good news is this deck's unlikely to counter my Show and Tell. The bad news is they're going to get 3 turns with 1 ring cranking before I get to do anything. Another Nexus. That's not a very good land in terms of what they could do out of a 7-card hand. Fucking fudge. Okay. If this tutor's a Wasteland... Yep. Okay. We're in the same spot. Need a +1 mana effect off the top. Another monster. We're doing it. And now Myco spawn. And I get to draw a bunch more. That can exile my basic island. Another tower. They're just straight into the moon with their mana here. All right, Myco spawns in. All right, what are you doing with those 8 cards in hand? Really? Just going to cleanup? What do you got over there? Okay, I have a Force of Will now. Do I think that Valgavoth or Archon of Cruelty is more likely to win me this game? So they do have 2 non-land permanents here. Something's happening in response. This is like a massive, yeah, Kozilek's command. They're choosing Scry and Make Donkeys. Okay, you could Scry and Make Donkeys, that's fine. Now Valgavoth is basically worthless, but so is Archon. Great. 1 ring, what a monster. And if they have access to a Caracas in their deck, which they might, they went all 4 to the bottom. That's crazy. Disruptor Flute. All right. Show and Tell is a reasonable thing to name here. Let's see if they're on the level for it. Yep, they are. I will play Yggdrasil and pass the turn. Let's go. I'm so dead. Yeah, this needed to happen 3 turns ago. And they could die to their own ring, but they're more likely to find another ring before that happens. Tabernacle, fascinating. They gotta crop rotate that away, right? All right, well, my Force of Will's off. Unless they draw a card immediately off this. Yep, crop rotation immediately. Another tower. Karn, chill out. All right, okay. That was my ass getting kicked from all over town. Okay. Brotherhood's End can destroy artifacts. That doesn't help. There are no Blood Moons in this particular build. Consign to Memory seems very good. Vexing Bauble seems very bad. Consigns come in, Baubles come out. I don't play Blood Moon. And I think that's what I get here. Omniscience could go over the top if I think they have permanents that could turn around and beat me. What would I cut for Omnisciences, if true? I don't think I'm doing that. I'm just going to try to go faster. I did have multiple shots at going off a turn earlier, but obviously didn't happen that time. Okay, here is the cursed option of I have a monster. I guess I'm keeping. Gonna have to brainstorm into the other half. I'm gonna play out my Lotus Petal before Vexing Bauble comes down. Cloud Post tapped. I think this is an end step brainstorm situation because if I find Show and Tell, I just get to jam. Naturally, I did not. Do I want Yggdrasil out this early? Probably. Do I spend Lotus Petal on it? Probably not. Okay, put back Tarn and City. Yggdrasil with Flusterstorm available. And I'll pass and hope there's a monster in my top 3 cards. I know one of my top 3 cards is Scalding Tarn, and then 2 hopes. I could brainstorm Valgavoth over there, but this is the sneak attack thing. It's not like actually in play. Oh, what a mess. People who can win with Sneak and Show are absolute masters. I'm saving Flusterstorm basically for crop rotation. I think that's the spell that matters. Oh god. Well, there's an Emrakul. I can't play Sneak Attack this game, or I can't play Show and Tell this game. They've got 3 mana. Myco Spawn, Pitching Spirit Guide. Yikes. Okay. Getting a Wasteland. Okay. That was likely to die anyway. No hard feelings. Yggdrasil, start slurping. Heck yeah. 3 mana sources under there. Sneak attack. That one's actually cool. Okay, how do I want to do this? Probably cast Brainstorm first. See if I just spike. Emrakul. That's a good one to have under the engine. Put back. Probably just Valgavoth Emrakul. And then pass the turn. Hope I'm still alive. Versus Tower. Not very good. They have Disruptor Flute. That's really good. Karn's so much better. What the hell? Oh my god. So now I just don't activate Yggdrasil. I draw a card. I play Sneak Attack. I die on the following turn. Or I can't even do that because Lotus Petal's an artifact. Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm going to activate Yggdrasil and then Brainstorm and try to get out from under Karn. Well, there's Consigned to Memory. Third card down. Would have countered Karn. I hate my life. Magic sucks. Why do we do this? Okay, I'm playing Brainstorm. I found Force of Will. We're back in. I'm going to put back Sneak and Archon and then force this Karn. They fetch for Thundering Falls and hope that there is a +1 mana source on top of the deck. Atraxa to the graveyard. I don't want that shit. Ancient Tomb. The One Ring. Cool. Alright. Now I get to sit here and hope to draw a land before they can wasteland me. I don't think I'm activating Yggdrasil anymore because there are already 2 potentially game-ending monsters under it. Oh my god. Well, never winning. I've got the One Ring, though. My next land's a good one. I'm dead to the next wasteland. I'm taking maximum damage at all points. Okay. Come on, deck. Land. Brainstorm. Save me. 2 mana land. We did it. Okay. Put back Yggdrasil and Scalding Tarn. Look at me. I'm the One Ring now. Okay, passing the turn. I can hit them with Emrakul. No, this is +3. Oh, God. I thought it was +2. Okay. I have 3 draws to find another monster. There's 1, 2, 3 monsters already out of the deck. And I can't cast Show and Tell because they have Emrakul. I can't cast Show and Tell unless it puts in an Omniscience, which is in my sideboard. You know, maybe this is fine. I'm kind of spiraling out and having a bad time because this deck plays in a play pattern that I truly don't enjoy. But we are just kind of gaming here. Not anymore. I don't know. There is a Sneak Attack in my hand. This Myco Spawn, even if it grabs a Wasteland and takes out my Ancient Tomb, we're still digging. One Ring's happening. I got Planar Nexus with that, which does open the floodgates potentially. Okay, drawing with the ring. Otawara. Does that help me? I'm at 1 right now on the board. A Disruptor Flute. What a banger. I guess I'm going to cast Ponder and see if I can win. There is an Atraxa there. Okay. You're saying there's a chance. Do not shuffle this deck. Don't you dare. All right, fetch down to 8. I'm already exposed to Wasteland. Just getting Volcanic Island here. Sneak Attack. This has to work or I'm dead. I'm going to put in Atraxa. I'm going to give myself the option or the possibility of hitting Lotus Petal plus Monster. Something's happening. Crop Rotation in response. This is probably for Caracas, something that Valgavoth would have been useful against. Okay, I did hit Lotus Petal. That's good. There's an Archon here and another Atraxa. I think I have to take the Archon. And then this enchantment is Freezy. And then instant sorcery. Force of Will's my instant. Ponder's my sorcery. Not casting Show and Tell. Okay. I have these now. Lotus Petal. I'm gonna... Do I move into beginning of combat? That burns off this 2 colorless. Yeah, I'll push into beginning of combat and see if they want to do something. Okay, now in combat, I'm going to activate Sneak Attack again. This Archon might be enough. They could bounce Atraxa, but they are losing their whole board and hand here. And I could just put Atraxa in multiple times next turn. Are we going to win this game where I was just spiraling out and being miserable for 6 turns? It looks good. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, there goes the Emrakul. Attacking with my creatures. They could make the calculated decision of take 7 from Atraxa and then try to fade my next sneak attack activation versus bouncing the Atraxa. That's an interesting thing to think about. They didn't do it. It's probably right to just bounce Atraxa, but it is something to think about. Okay, I sacrificed my Archon. I'm going to discard this backup Yggdrasil. Discarding a backup sneak attack's probably better than Yggdrasil, because I know Flute's in play, but playing Yggdrasil exiles this Atraxa Archon from my graveyard, and then we get another one going. I don't know. Whatever. It was all bonus time at that point. Well, that felt like shit the whole time, and then we won. Welcome to Sneak and Show. Fluster Sword probably shouldn't be in the deck. Do I want an Omniscience line? I'd be bringing in one Omniscience. They do play Crop Rotation and Kozilek Command. They're both blue for Force, so that's a wash. Whatever, I'll keep the Flusterstorm in. I think it's fine. I wish I had some Blood Moons. Okay, I mean, this hand is insane. This is turn 1. Hit you with Emrakul, because I could show and tell the sneak attack. Okay, Ancient Tomb, Petal. If they put in Disruptor Flute, this is going to be annoying. But I'm going to cast Show and Tell. If they have Crop Rotation, it doesn't matter because I have Sneak Attack. Activate. Crop Rotation would save them this turn, but they are going to get pummeled next turn. Or they'll be pummeled as soon as I have 2 red sources in the same turn. So they're basically in check the rest of the game here and have to leave the Caracas up. Okay, they survive that turn. Basic Mountain is one of the best cards I could have in my hand here. Vexing Bauble, okay, that turns off Lotus Petal as an out. Okay, so I'm going to sneak in Emrakul in their end step, and then they have to bounce it before my combat step, and then I just put it back in, because unlike basically every other legend, Emrakul has an attack trigger. Like Atraxa, you could just let it get into combat. Bauble. End step, sneak. Hey, they're drawing a card in response. If they have a Containment Priest here, I'm going to freak out. Okay, Emrakul's in. Then we go to my turn. Begin combat. Move to attacks. Caracas happens. And then still in the beginning of combat step, put Emrakul back in. So they're not dead. They're just at 5 with no permanence. And this is historically a situation where Sneak and Show has been weak. However, I'm about to resolve a One Ring and just bury them. Yeah, One Ring messed up. Hey, this one felt good. This one felt very good the whole time. I have to sack Emrakul twice. Sad. Goodbye, Emrakul. I'll miss you. Losing this game seems really unlikely from here. I dare say. I'm going to call it. And we found an Atraxa. That should do it. Okay. After a miserable game 1 that we lost, a miserable game 2 that we won, we had an easy breezy sneak attack game 3. This is why you register the deck. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 2 and gonna mulligan this hand. Just doesn't have any mana in it. Oh no. This is Island Ponder Keep. This is, I feel like I'm begging to just get washed out here, and I need to find A and B with my 2 ponders, which is not how I want to play the game. But I have a lot of A's and a lot of B's, and if I draw one, I can focus on the other. Vexing Bauble's good. I'm going to get basic Island. We're playing against Dimir Tempo. Okay, this is all mana. Going to shuffle it. There we go. There's an A. Looking for a B. There's a Psychic Frog. It's here. This is one of the strengths of Sneak and Show. If a deck can out-muscling go over the top of a Psychic Frog, it's this one. I'm going to start with Ponder. The One Ring. I mean, that's kind of a payoff. I'm not going to shuffle the One Ring. I am going to fetch Basic Mountain and play Vexing Bauble. which they can daze here, but it does get the daze out of the hand. And I'm going to slam One Ring next turn. Ooh, okay, that's just in. They can hard cast daze, though, if that's a card they have. Discarded Fatal Push, correctly identified, they're not going to need that one. Discarding Frog, those are both +2 damage because they bump Nether Goyf and Frog. They're just racing to the end at this point. And I'm looking for a Show and Tell. Spirit Guide, cool. Now I can pay for days. I'm at 9, but hopefully the game won't go that long. Bowmaster, okay. I mean, that stings, but there it is. I get protection, then draw a card. Okay. Well, not okay. A's and B's, kids. I'm full of A's, need a B. And at this point, a lot of my B's aren't even good enough. Like I Show and Tell here, and then they sack Orc Army, get a new Orc Army, and then Frog's bigger than Archon. City of Traders. All right, I just got to pay the iron price here. And we're dead. Cool. Yeah, nice deck. Okay. Yeah, and there's the fail rate. Okay, I can sweep up creatures here. Boseiju, this is a counterspell deck. Defense Grid, also good against counterspells. Yeah, I think my job here is to just shove the thing. Not really trying to storm their flusters. I want the monsters. I want the payoffs. How does this deck map out that it has 4 defense grids, 2 vexing baubles, and a Boseiju? Do you cut the forces when you bring in all the permanents? Is that what the plan is? That makes some sense to me. Here we go. And here I have a turn 1 One Ring. All in. I could try to Show and Tell it, but then if they put in a creature, I'm sending this shit. Let's go. Came to game. Force check. They passed. Okay, now I have to draw a monster. Force pitching Tameo. I guess Show and Tell is much safer there. It didn't matter. They had Force Ed Thoughtseize. But if I Show and Tell there, they force the Show and Tell that I could play the One Ring on the next turn. Ooh, we're back in business. I'm not worried until they apply pressure. Nether Goyf, that's some pressure. And they did not wasteland me or play any land at all. Their hand is 4 spells. Thundering Falls, please find a monster. Pedal to the graveyard. And pedal in my hand. Okay. And now we hold. Ponder. Did not shuffle their Ponder. And then didn't play a land still. Okay. I mean, I have to assume that their hand has a force in it because they kept Ponder without making a land drop. Yeah, Force pitching Brazen Borrower. All right, looking for another enabler now. And they can safely bet that there's a monster in my hand. That just cut the clock in half. This is where a good Show and Tell player just rips it. Sneak and Show off the top. Valgavoth. All right. I will be at 3 going into my next turn, which means I could tap Ancient Tomb exactly this turn and then never again, but I'm dead on the following turn anyway. Big rips. Okay, dead. All right, the Sneak and Show experience. On to the next round.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables.
I'm on the play in round 3. I'm going to mulligan this hand that doesn't make any mana. I will keep this one, bottoming the second Vexing Bauble. I'm going to start with Ponder. I can deploy Bauble later. I do want Atraxa. I guess I begrudgingly have to accept the Force of Will with it. Maybe I'm supposed to play Bauble first on the play just in case we're against like a Chrome Mox deck. Cool. All right, they'll probably take Brainstorm, which means I'm drawing Atraxa. I can fetch a Thundering Falls and try to find a payoff here. But this is a Swamp Thoughtseize deck. It could just be Reanimator that started on their basic, or it could be something far more interesting. Okay. Karn. Well, I think I'm going to draw a card with Vexing Bauble and force this Karn. Volcanic Island, draw. This puts me down to 0, but I don't think I could beat Karn. And we're chilling from 0. One Ring's probably my best draw here. Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Hell yeah. Got him. Manifested a shock from the Aether. Alright, please don't oppo me. Thundering Falls. Spirit Guide. I could just cast that and get the beats going. I don't think that's actually a route to victory, though. City of Traders casts Force of Will this turn. Maybe I should have done that. Now this Gaia Reach Sanitarium represents damage, but it also represents card selection in my deck that needs cards to come together to function. Ensnaring Bridge right here in the main deck. Is that beatable? I have 1 Ottawara. Sheesh. Alright, well, shit. Literally, what are my outs to that? I think it is 1 Ottawara. Archon can trigger, but that doesn't actually get through it. Yeah, alright. I have 1 Ottawara. They're a Wasteland deck. If this Orc army gets any bigger, it won't be able to attack through Ensnaring Bridge. Ponder. That can grow the Orc army. Yggdrasil. Interesting. That one might be able to solo. If I exile my Ottawara, though, it's over. It's literally my only hit. The Simian Spirit Guide ends up under this thing. I'm just going to tap it immediately because I know Emrakul's in there with some other stuff I don't want. Oh, I hit Valgavoth. That's cool. Is that cool? Does that matter? I'm not even sure. End step Takenuma from the opponent. I mean, they get Karn back, obviously. I have Yggdrasil in play. Okay, well. I've played against so many cards in this league. I have 2 Yggdrasils. There's 2. Okay, I can't win this game. Brotherhood's End seems reasonable. Consign to Memory, maybe. Feel like I have to force them. I feel like Vexing Bauble doesn't matter. Brotherhood's End kills random artifacts and Bowmasters. Consign counters Karn, but do I care? I think I'm just going to try to go fast here. Mono Black Karn Prison. This is what I get for registering Sneak and Show. I tried to showcase a different deck, and I get fed this nonsense. I think I have to mull this, turn 2 One Ring, but they're a Thoughtseize deck that can turn 1 Karn. Just want to go faster. Full punished. Handful of bricks, straight to 5. Okay, and we're back at a hand that is about as good as the 7 that I mulliganed, except has 2 fewer cards. I'll try it. I probably just have to get rid of Brainstorm and the One Ring and just try to go with Atraxa. I could also bottom Brainstorm and Atraxa and just float Sneak Attack or One Ring, like keep the 2 4-drops, guarantee a 2-drop on the next turn. Okay. It might seem wild bottoming the Atraxa, and maybe it is, but it makes sense to me that this guarantees a 4-drop through Thoughtseize either way. There's the Thoughtseize. They probably take the ring, and then it's up to me to find a monster before they stabilize. I'm going to shuffle both to get the falls and to put Atraxa back into the pool of cards I could hit. Basic Island, not interested. Okay, I'm going to invest this Sneak Attack and pray for a monster. Wasteland slows me down quite a lot, but now I need a monster and a red source. That was neither. They have a swamp. I have a Yggdrasil that I cannot cast. Jesus. Well. You just try to play Magic and you can't. On my next land, cast Yggdrasil, but they're ritualing out something here. I'll discard Flusterstorm. I'll land here, getting Yggdrasil into play. I'm still 4 mana away from activating it ever. Smallpox. Oh, yeah. I kind of love this. And I am getting destroyed, but I'm feeling it. If I'm going to lose horrifically to something, some hilarious comic matchup that basically doesn't exist, I would like it to be Pox. Okay, you win. What a kicking. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're having fun, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to sign up for shop.3forontrading.com's Black Friday sale, November 27th through December 2nd. I'm on the draw in round 4 with a hand that is weird, but I am going to keep it. This is a turn 2 protected One Ring, even if it is unconventional for what my deck generally tries to do. Resolving a One Ring is pretty powerful. A Forest. A Zenith. Okay, probably playing against Nadu. That is the most likely deck to be doing that sort of thing. I'll take damage for a Bauble, and then pass. I don't expect this deck to have Wasteland in it. I didn't expect to have Basic Swamp either. Okay. We are playing against Nick Fit. That's exciting news. I did just turn off Cabal Therapy on the flashback. It still kills Veteran Explorer, but it doesn't actually get a card on the second round. Right, One Ring, get in there. Draw. Spirit Guide. Okay. I'm a mountain away from hitting them with Emrakul next turn. And if they sack their Veteran Explorer, that's a mountain for me. I also get 3 draws before I whiff on that. Come on, big money. Red source. There's Valgavoth. Here we go. Surprise. Scalding Tarn. Volcanic Island. Sneak Attack. Exile Simian Spirit Guide. Emrakul. Is Emrakul better here than Atraxa? I think it's actually Atraxa first, because I could still Emrakul here off the 10 cards. I just need to find a Lotus Petal, and they're actually dead. Ah, I got them. That's countered. Okay. What I'm worried about here is hitting them with Emrakul, and they tutor to basics, and then they win. All right, Lotus Petal, Emrakul, Show and Tell, Scalding Tarn, Brainstorm. I'll take the Sneak Attack for good measure. Then I draw a card, because I remembered that was there. Someone had to. And I don't know about you, but I'm dealing 22. Nice. Okay. Completely obliterated a mid-range not blue deck. That's what Sneak and Show should be doing. Okay, Vexing Baubles are out, even though they did counter a Solitude that game. Consigned to Memory. They are a deck based on triggered abilities, and the Baubles just have to come out, so I guess these have to come in. I don't know what their full flavor is yet. Sometimes Graveyard Hate's good against Nick Fit, sometimes it's not. Mulligan, the hand with no mana. Mulligan, the hand with no useful mana. Well, okay. Another turn 2 One Ring is what I'm being offered. I could bottom Valgavoth and City of Traders. That gives up my turn 2 One Ring, but I do have a likely turn 3 One Ring with Force Protection. I could give up on Force and City of Traders and use Ponder to hit my next land. I could bottom Force and Valgavoth and make the One Ring do everything. It might be Valgavoth City, actually. All right, I'm going to bottom City and Valgavoth. This gives me Force blue card and reasonable shot to resolve a ring at some point. And if they trigger Veteran Explorer, I do actually play 3 basics in my deck. Deafening Silence, okay. I'm going to play Misty and pass. I think I'd rather just take this slow if I can. Resolves. I hope they named Show and Tell. Heck yeah, they did. Dodged. I'm gonna fetch the falls here. Consign. I actually am going to keep that on top. It's a little weird, but it is a blue card I could pitch that I won't miss. I think that means I should Ponder, but then I don't have Consign anymore. No, Ponder's really good. Okay, I'm going to Ponder. Pedal, Ponder, Sneak. Deafening Silence actually good here. The Sneak Attack would be good, but it's many turns away. I'm going to shuffle this. I just want to land. We did it. Eternal Witness. This gets back Cabal Therapy. Or it gets back Windswept Teeth, then cast Cabal Therapy. I guess I'll just force the therapy then, because I'd like to stick this One Ring. I love how I'm just barely keeping up with an opponent who just played Eternal Witness to pick up a land and sacked it to cast Cabal Therapy. Yggdrasil. Atraxa is here. Gaddock Teague. Okay. One Ring's already in. Yggdrasil and Show and Tell cost 3. Draw some cards. Ancient Tomb, Yggdrasil. My life total is under some pressure here. Long pause while my opponent reads this one. I will fluster a Green Sun Zenith or similar thing here. Oh, can't fluster that. They know I have one Atraxa. That's the only card they know about, and I just randomly have a second one here. Little annoying, but okay. Okay, they still name Show and Tell. We dodged. 6. Okay, can't counter it. It's in. Teague puts me to 11. Ring will put me to 9. Tapping Ancient Tomb puts me to 7. I need to hit a lifelinker or something that functionally wins the game off of this. Hit nothing instead. Exile to Show and Tell, one of my better draws in the deck. Archon, gotta find a Show and Tell here or I'm just dead. Cool, just dead. I'll play this island and pass. I guess hitting the land means I'm not just dead. I can't tap Ancient Tomb though. Alright, casting Eternal Witness from the graveyard with 6. Go nuts. Cabal Therapy me. I don't care. Name Show and Tell a third time. I think I have to just fluster this actually. Not that it's going to actually counter anything, but we only get one spell a turn each, and might as well keep my options up. Okay, Ancient Tomb is off going into my turn. I'd love to hit a big lifelink monster off Yggdrasil. They just found Orcish Bowmaster off of 6. And I have already used my spell for the turn. That's really bad. I hit Valgavoth. That's a start. Okay, activate this. This doesn't do anything though. It's just a big lifelink creature. Swords to Plowshares, okay. Ward, trigger. I think that plow was kind of a mess, honestly. I gained the 9 life either way, and they're at 19. They could have just taken the hit. Yeah, and now I have a plow in exile. Okay. Valgavoth can connect. And what do I want to do with the rest of this information? I can tap the ring here, which doesn't do a lot yet. I have a Swords to Plowshares I can cast. I've made my land drop. I've not cast my spell. Putting creatures in the graveyard only matters if I draw the other Yggdrasil. I think I plow this Teague is the answer. That puts me to 10. Then Teague's gone. Oh, wait. This doesn't go away. Put a creature exiled with Yggdrasil onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste until end of turn. Okay, yeah, I just thought this was sneak attack, but I have this thing. No, that was a good Swords to Plowshares. I take it back, opponent. I'm sorry. I didn't know what my own card did. No, this thing's insane. Never mind. We're back in. I hope I didn't concede any games early, thinking this was a full sneak attack. Yikes. I don't think I did. But if I did, I apologize. When 6 attacks, Valgavoth just donks 3 cards from them. Sweet. That was a Keen-Eyed Curator. That belongs to me now. Bowmaster. Okay, so if I force this, I get a Bowmaster. I'm suddenly very excited. I love Valgavoth. Wow, okay. Well, I finally learned what all the words on this card are, but I also won my first game where Valgavoth was in play. Good job, me. On to the next round. I'm on the play in the final round. Positive record on the line. Basic Mountain killing me here. I'm playing against Terrain, who is one of the BoshNRoll Discord's resident Dreadnought experts. I do like this hand a lot, outside of not having the other mana. I think if I go Mountain, Lotus Petal, Pass, he'll think it's Painter. I'm going to give myself a chance to draw a blue source here, and I could just cast Ponder off of Lotus Petal if I miss. But Show and Tell Valgavoth, Force Backup is so sick. Land off the top. Okay, not a land. Struggle Bus. Okay, there's 2 lands. We did it. Okay, a little worried about Tamiyo, but I'm ready to shove next turn. Tamiyo makes the clue. Ponder. That's 2 draws this turn. Soporific Springs, wow. Aggressive. Okay, Show and Tell. Here we go. I'm in. I could use Yggdrasil as a bait spell, but I would rather the good one resolve, if anything's going to resolve. Okay, opponent put in Dress Down. I put in Valgavoth. Could Vapor Snag it right now, but moment of truth. If this Dress Down clears, I'm in pretty good shape. Okay, stifled their own Dress Down trigger to untap and still have Valgavoth be small. This could be some Dreadnoughts showing up here. Could be dig for the white source, Swords to Plowshares this thing. A little bit of tension here. This is cool. Show and Tell versus a dress down deck is definitely something to be aware of. Cracking the clue. Uh-oh, white mana. Uncovered. Okay, solved it. Took a bunch of cards and I'm at 28, but did solve it. Tameo, doing nothing here thanks to dress down. All right, Yggdrasil, turn it around on me. Let's go. Bang. There are no creatures in my graveyard. I don't think my opponent had that Flooded Strand until after he cracked the clue. Just zapping in the springs like that tells a whole different story. But we did go from ahead to behind, which is what happens when your monster gets answered, mostly harmlessly. Okay, ate some stuff. Archon of Cruelty's in there. Now I need a mana. Okay, pass the turn. I'm not going to eat anything else with the Yggdrasil. I think just having one banger under there. So I guess we've already seen it's a Swords to Plowshares deck and a dress down deck. All right, I guess I will keep eating things then. It costs 4 mana to do this. I gotta wait. Crack the clue in the end step. I suspect we'll see Meticulous Archive. Nope. Okay, Tundra. That means we're still casting spells. Doorkeeper Thrall, very good against Archon. Creatures getting in. Aboran Oculus, okay. Well, that's scary and sucks. I hope I can at least put an Archon into play this turn. Might not be enough, but a mana would be nice. We did it. Activate Yggdrasil. I don't get an Enters trigger. They could also just stifle this activation. All right, I don't get an Enters trigger. I can attack, though, if it doesn't get plowed first. Got into combat. Let's go. And the Oculus is really good at sucking up triggers here. Sack Tameo instead. That probably means there's a Dreadnought or something much scarier under there. But now I have Force Blue card and Archons ready to attack. I'm at 28. I'm not worried about Dreadnought specifically. And it would be a huge chunk of damage, and it's something I have to think about, but it's not like I'm dead. End step, sacking the clue. Brainstorm. If there was a Dreadnought in hand, they could set up a Manifest. The Oculus clears the Brainstorm cards even without a shuffle here, even if it could set up a monster, which is the scariest thing. It is also just at baseline, it clears it. All right, had a fetch anyway. And that fetch puts them in Archon attack trigger range, which means they gotta actually remove my Archon now. They can't just absorb in combat. Like before the fetch happened, opponent could have sacked Manifest to Archon trigger and then double block and would have gotten to keep the Doorkeeper Thrall. But now they're just dead to the trigger, but they are in a deck that's really good at stopping triggers from happening. Dress down works here, Stifle, Consign, they all play. I don't think cheating in the Simian Spirit Guide is going to matter. Dress down is the name of the game. Okay. I could force, at least get one of these creatures off the board. Attack, you have to chump. I take some amount of damage on the backswing. Alright, attack with Archon. Manifest dies. And I'll pass. Hope that Yggdrasil comes up with another creature next turn. Yeah, activating Yggdrasil twice is definitely something that could happen if the engine really gets cranking here. And like a turn or two ago when I said I wasn't going to activate it, but then I decided I'm supposed to. Turns out that was actually right. Okay, Sanctuary just put Plow on top, which makes me think they have a cantrip in hand to get access to that Plow, or else they're just going to manifest it away. Harbinger of the Seas. Oh, okay, so they're just going to manifest away their Plow. This is GG, right? Because they don't have any cards in hand, unless this manifest is something that deals with my Archon. Okay, the Curie will draw it. Okay, that makes sense. That works. Story checks out. Okay, that's a cantrip. Plow my Archon. Yggdrasil, please hit a monster. There's Atraxa and Emrakul. All right. I have confidence this Emrakul will get it done. Okay, Emrakul. There's no flyers over there. Plenty of permanents to annihilate, but nothing flies. Okay, Yggdrasil actually MVP that game. I've been kind of making fun of it throughout the league. We did queue into 2 Karn decks, which is pretty embarrassing, but It did everything that game. Just sat in play and generated advantage. Okay, Brotherhood's End. Dealing 3 to all creatures or destroying all artifacts both sound reasonable here. Do I want to be on the grid plan? We've seen Teferi and Swords to Plowshares, which makes me not that interested in cutting my forces. And if they have interaction like Plow, Dress Down, Consign, Vexing Bauble is worse than Defense Grid. Where do you find cuts? This is crazy. How does this deck work? How does this sideboard map? And Atraxa is a lot worse when their deck is full of Dress Downs. It's still a 7/7. Maybe I can cut Spirit Guide here. That's been really good in my sneak attack lines, though. Blusterstorm. I've been mulling a lot of hands that don't have mana. I'm not going to cut a Lotus Petal. Maybe I do cut an Atraxa, which seems really messy. Do I need all 4 grids? If I'm playing any, seems like the right number. Okay, I'm playing 3 grids, 2 Brotherhood's End. Or I could go 4 grid, 1 Brotherhood's End. Maybe that makes more sense. Okay, I'll try this. Okay, this is a Force, a Grid, and some A's looking for B. Lotus Petal. I like that. I'm just gonna cool my jets for a moment here. Their deck plays Consigned to Memory, which might just counter Defense Grid. It's always possible. Sometimes Dreadnought has Wasteland, sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna hope it doesn't. Grid. Okay, Consign is fine. I have the Force in hand. I could force to fight over Grid, but I don't have the next layer, like the next round of activity ready yet. So to me, Force of Will seems almost as good as Grid here, maybe better, because I could force it to Fairy this turn. There's a Dress Down, which makes me suspect there is a Dreadnought in hand, and I would rather stop the cantripping enabler than fight over the 1-drop on the other side. Okay. I'm going to brainstorm. Ooh, okay. This is a lot of juice. I'm going to play Petal, and I'm going to go for Sneak Attack. No, I'm going to go for One Ring. This gets Consigned, but Sneak Attack gets Teferi'd really badly. They didn't have Consigned. They didn't fight over Dress Down last turn either. Thrall. I fully expect the Dreadnought. There it is. There was a red source on top of my deck. Okay, if I go to 14, 12, 0, -1. I want to see if Sneak Attack resolves before I use my One Ring. If I could get an Archon trigger here, it's probably okay. So 13 is necessary here. I go to 16. I go to 4, I go to 2. I think this is worth hitting in case there's Emrakul instead. All right. No such luck this time. Archon doesn't get an Enters trigger, but it does get an attack trigger. And I'm looking for a second monster to hit them with next turn. Okay, I'm at 2 on board. I have an active Ring and an active Sneak Attack. I need a monster in the top 4 cards of my deck, basically. If they stifle my Ring tap, that would be pretty effective. Okay. I found Emrakul. That is one of the better ones, because that one is really hard to deal with in combat or once it's in play at all. Does Dress Down do it? Was I supposed to ponder before we went into combat? Well, I've made it to combat. This is bad news for my opponent. All right, plowing Dreadnought just to stay alive. I do die to my One Ring. Clever, clever. I have... Oh. Emrakul's a legend. Stop the presses. Emrakul is a legend. Stabilize at 1. Yeah, the plow fizzles. And annihilation has occurred. Wow, that was a tight one at the end. Okay, a positive record with Sneak and Show. The wins feel phenomenal. The losses feel terrible. I do like the density of monsters the lists are playing right now. The One Ring is an insane innovation. It's calling the One Ring an innovation feels so corny at this point. It's like, wow, they innovated having 4 mana in their deck. Cool. Wow, very smart. However, decks weren't playing it before, and now they are. That's really smart. Yggdrasil Rebirth Engine. Weird card. We got carned twice in a league. Not something that's going to happen that often, but super awkward that that happened at all, much less twice. But then it also beat the Dreadnought player by itself. Just put multiple monsters into play over multiple turns. Chugga chugga. Valgavoth, very cool. Obviously, I mean, you can read the words on that card to know it's very powerful once it'll be in play. I don't know that I like it over something like Grizzlebrand, where you sneak or show in a Grizzlebrand, draw 7 or 14, and then it doesn't matter if they plow it or deal with it right away. I will say the sneak and show list that won the tournament that this list came from, this list I think was 5th place, and the 4th place and 1st place lists were playing Grizzlebrand and not Valgavoth. I just really wanted to play with this new card. So if you're serious about sneak and show, probably consider Grizzlebrand over this. All in all, this deck felt entirely fine. Not busted, not unplayable. Not really my style, but it could be your style, and that's just fine. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon. Check out 3-for-1 Trading. Don't miss their Black Friday sale. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.